You're listening to Systemic Era Podcast. The failure was designed.
GOP reps' own words catch him in lie, then excuses bury him deeper. Analysis by Ewan Gleadow. A Republican lawmaker who swore he had not been actively participating in stock exchange trades has undermined himself in a radio interview. Rob Bresnahan, the GOP representative for Pennsylvania, campaigned in 2024 on a promise to ban congressional stock trading. In an interview given in April last year, it appears Bresnahan is more involved with stock trading than he first let on, according to Politico. The Pennsylvanian rep repeatedly claimed he does not talk with his financial advisor about stock trading activity and that he has no input in trades. But in an interview given to Bob Cordero, Bresnahan said, I meet with my financial advisor. We talk about, what different positions are coming up. The GOP rep's claim to Cordero is very different from what has been said before and after the interview in April aired. In June, Bresnahan walked back the statement he gave Cordero. He said just 2 months after the radio interview, I think you need to know that the trades are being executed on my behalf. I do not have any dialogues with my financial advisors. He said again in July that he provided absolutely no investment advice or input to my financial advisors. But this layer is worse still for Bresnahan, with Ted Rossman, a principal analyst at Bankrate.com, explaining the precedent it sets for other members of Congress. While some financial advisors may talk to their clients about individual stock positions or general financial moves, the conversations between Bresnahan and his financial advisor, irrespective of detail, are concerning, he said. Rossman said, but even if it's not a direct order to buy or sell a certain amount of an individual company, just sharing thoughts on themes in the market and the economy could be problematic politically since members of Congress have information that the average public is not privy to. Bresnahan had campaigned in 2024 on a ticket that promised to ban congressional stock trading. He wrote in a local newspaper that the idea that we can buy and sell stocks while voting on legislation that will have a direct impact on these companies is wrong and needs to come to an end immediately. In 2025, Bresnahan made more than 600 stock trades, though suspended his trading towards the end of the year.
Our analysis, The Hypocrisy of Rob Bresnahan, a tale of broken promises and political deception. In a political era rife with contradictions and broken promises, the tale of Republican lawmaker Rob Bresnahan stands out as a stark example of hypocrisy at its most blatant. Bresnahan, who rode into office on a high horse of moral superiority, promising to ban congressional stock trading, has found himself embroiled in a scandal that not only undermines his credibility but also exposes a troubling pattern of behavior among our elected officials. Bresnahan's self-contradiction. A closer look. Bresnahan's campaign in 2024 was built on a foundation of trust and integrity, with a bold promise to ban congressional stock trading, a practice he rightly identified as a conflict of interest. However, his actions, as revealed in a Politico report, starkly contradict his public persona and campaign promises. Despite his claims of detachment from stock trading activities, a radio interview with Bob Cordero unveiled a different reality, one where Bresnahan admits to discussing different positions with his financial advisor. This admission wouldn't be so damning if Bresnahan had not repeatedly claimed the opposite. In a desperate attempt to walk back his statements, the GOP representative engaged in a clumsy dance of denial, stating in June and again in July that he had no dialogue with his financial advisors regarding trades. This flip-flop raises serious questions about his honesty and integrity. The political implications of Bresnahan's actions. Ted Rossman, a principal analyst at Bankrate.com, elucidates the broader implications of Bresnahan's actions. The mere act of discussing market themes with a financial advisor, especially for a member of Congress, is fraught with ethical concerns. Given their access to non-public information and their influence on legislation, any financial discussions could be seen as insider trading by another name. Rossman's analysis strikes at the heart of the issue. The inherent conflict of interest that arises when lawmakers, who have the power to sway market fortunes through legislation, engage in stock trading. Bresnahan's cavalier attitude towards this ethical dilemma is not just problematic politically, but it also erodes public trust in elected officials. A broken promise and a tarnished legacy. Perhaps the most damning aspect of this saga is Bresnahan's audacity to continue trading stocks prolifically, with more than 600 trades made in 2025, only suspending his activities towards the year's end. This behavior is not just a slap in the face to the constituents who believed in his promise to ban congressional stock trading, but it also highlights a profound disconnect between his public statements and his private actions. Bresnahan's case is a textbook example of political hypocrisy. He campaigned on a platform of ending the very practice he indulged in, thus embodying the very problem he vowed to combat. This contradiction between his campaign rhetoric and his actions as a lawmaker is a glaring indictment of his character and raises legitimate concerns over his fitness for office. In conclusion, the saga of Rob Bresnahan is more than just a political scandal. It is a cautionary tale about the dangers of hypocrisy and the erosion of trust that inevitably follows. As voters, we must demand better from our elected officials. The integrity of our democracy depends on it. Bresnahan's fall from grace serves as a stark reminder that actions speak louder than words, and in politics, trust once broken is almost impossible to rebuild. You've been listening to Systemic Error. Thanks to Raw Story for today's article with the automated voices of Amy and Ryan. Thanks for listening.